Imagine this. You're in an interview, your hands are sweating, your heart is throbbing, your thoughts feel very uncollected, and you feel very unprepared for your interview. On the other hand, imagine you came prepared, you came with your thoughts collected, and you did very well in the interview. Now, an interview is something most of you have either already been in your life or will be at some time in your life. And it's very important to make a first impression, a good first impression, and do well. Now, over the years, I've been in several interviews, and using several techniques, I've been able to excel in these interviews. Now, with the way the economy is today, it's very important that you have good interviewing skills so that you can successfully do the steps of preparing for an interview. Now, the main thing in an interview is to set yourself apart from the other people you're competing against for the job. So keep that in mind when you are preparing for the interview. Now, the first step to getting prepared for an interview is to find out about the job through research. Now, it's very important to know about the company so that you know if you're interested in the job or not, because that'll help you determine if you even want that job when you go for the interview. And it's very important also you can use different techniques such as researching the internet, talking to people who may have worked there at some time in their life. It's very important to research the company so that you know what to expect from it and know what the job title may be and what you may be doing in that job title. This way, if they ask you any questions about how do you feel about what you may be doing in the job, you have a knowledgeable answer that you can respond with. Now, the second step, once you've researched about the job, is to practice and prepare. And this includes going over possible questions that may come about. And one of the most important things is to know about your previous jobs, so that you can, when they ask you about what previous job you've had, you can reply with a knowledgeable answer, and you can describe what kind of skills you had in the past job that will help you with this job. Now, also, they may ask you about accomplishments you've had in the job, your past job as well, and those can include different promotions, different raises, different things like that that may show that you were a good asset to that job. Now, another question that they may ask you is, what is your greatest strength? Now, it's very important that you emphasize on your skills and you emphasize on the positives of yourself. And usually, when they ask you this question, you don't want to just single out one greatest strength. You want to go over 3 or 4 of your greatest strengths and skills that will help you with this new job. You want to make it focused on the new job you're applying for, you're having the interview for. Now, another question that may come about is, what is your greatest weakness? Now, there's a couple of different ways you can go about this. Most people who are doing the interview have probably heard every positive spin answer that is in the books. So it's very important that sometimes you may want to give a weakness that is actual weakness but doesn't go to the job. Some kind of skill that you don't necessarily need for this job, so that it doesn't really demote your chances of getting the job. Now, another thing you can do is you can focus on a weakness that may actually be a positive. Maybe say you're a perfectionist or something like that. That sometimes makes it look like it's actually a good thing instead of being bad. But all in all, you want to make sure that you do give all your skills and all your information at this part of the questioning, because the main thing is to tell the interviewer the skills you have and why you're going to be good for the job. So this is really your time to shine and set yourself apart from the other competitors. Now, the third step for the interview is the appearance aspect. And this was something that can help you show that you have respect for the job, and also that it can also set you apart. Now, it's very important to make a good first impression, as always. They're going to see you before they talk to you. So it's very important to look professional and look like you respect the job and the position. And also, you want to convey the professional image. You want to show that you actually do want the job and show that you are a good asset to the company if they were to hire you. Now, I have a couple things you can wear. And if it's a general job, like there's no real dress code, maybe set uniforms, it can be a good idea to go with the kind of business casual, which would be some kind of khakis, any color really, and maybe a collared shirt tucked in some kind of polo like that. That's always a safe thing for business casual type of dress. And you can wear that if it's a business casual setting, but it's always a good idea to go one step above so that you show you have respect for the interview and you have respect for the job as well. And that's when you can put in some kind of collared shirt. These are slightly nicer usually than just the polo. Make sure you just tuck it in, and you can also put a tie into it. That often shows respect for the job as well and shows that you want it as well. And I would suggest some kind of generic tie. You don't want to have something that's too flashy or something that might draw away your attention from your skills. You want them to be focused on your skills ultimately. And you can always, of course, throw the collar with the tie. And of course, if it's some kind of business casual and you want to look very impressive, you can wear some kind of jacket, some kind of suit of some kind. And now, a lot of people don't want to invest too much money in the visual appearance into the outfit and that kind of thing. But really, you can get a jacket and shirt and tie and that kind of thing for relatively cheap if you go to some kind of local Goodwill or something. Aside from that, you want to stay clean and trimmed. You want to make sure any facial hair is trimmed properly, you're properly cleaned and groomed, because you got to make sure that your first impression is obviously the best you can get. And also, one thing that you really need to look out for is different kinds of distractions that can include, if you're wearing flashy colors, if you're wearing too many pieces of jewelry, it can draw away your attention from what's really important in the interview, your skills. So you want to make sure they're not distracted by anything you're wearing. So all in all, using these steps, you can successfully prepare for the job. And of course, with the economy the way it is, it's very important that you do the best you can, show that you're knowledgeable, and convey a professional image so that you can succeed in the job. Now, all in all, it's very important to be prepared for the interview so you can give the best one shot that you have.